This year has been a roller coaster for us. I'm sure it has for everybody else as well.
And never in our lives did we ever think that we would have to, raise kids during a time like this and help them understand what's going on and, help guide them through everything that's going on. Suddenly, we're living in a world with barely any social interaction. Masks are the new norm, online schooling, you can't go anywhere. So it's a really crazy time for all of us.
So this year we were given the option to start online learning or send her back to school. We decided to sit her down and explain why we were going to keep her home this year.
She didn't enjoy it, and it's really hard for kids to sit there in front of the screen, especially at 5 years old, and sit there and learn from people on a screen. And as for myself, it was difficult as well because I have a newborn at home and he's working. So we have a newborn at home and a very, very clingy 2-year-old. So she won't let me do anything with her older sister if it doesn't include her as well. So sitting there on the computer with our oldest and having the 2 little ones who have much different needs was very difficult.
We did notice she handled the homeschooling for the most part very well, but what we did notice is because it's such an important time for social development right now, and she is not getting that same stimulation she would at school. So it is starting to take a very small toll on her actions and behavior at home, and that's understandable and expected.
Yeah, and I mean, she has a 2-year-old sister that she can kind of socialize with, but they argue a lot. Yes, a 2 and a 5-year-old argue a lot. There's a lot of hair pulling.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
physical.
Oh my gosh, and a lot of that's not funny. That's not funny. She did this and she did that. Don't ask me how a 2-year-old and 5-year-old can be arguing like that. The 2-year-old doesn't really talk too much, but she knows, she knows how to
argue. Yeah. So to help kind of ease some of this behavior and keep the mind on track, what we started actually doing was we do weekly presentations with her. So we would give her 1 animal a week because that's her big interest is the animals. So we give her 1 animal a week that she could learn about. So we'd sit her on the computer. She'd do a proper amount of research. She would learn a certain amount of things, and then at the end of each week, she would put together a bullet point presentation on a Bristol board.
Yeah, and she would color pictures and stuff for the animals too. And she's only 5, so when we say presentation and information, it is strictly just, like where these animals live, what color they are, how big they get, and what they eat, all that little stuff that kids want to know and want to learn about. That's what we've been doing, and this has all been on top of her regular learning as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to actually take the time, especially now when they're at home, to take the time to really bear into what they're interested in.
Absolutely.
Really take the time to stimulate what they want to learn about. And take that time to help them find maybe a bit of passion. Yeah. So try to stimulate what they're interested. Take time to be their friend in a time like this, because it's really difficult for all of us, especially them. Their whole world has been flipped upside down.
Let them pick the activities that they would like to do as well. Treat it as if they were playing with another child. You take a turn one day picking what you'd like to do with them, and they take a turn the other day picking what they would like to do with you. Keep your regular routines going in your household as much as you can, because so much has already changed outside the household for them that they really need that structure and that routine still going for them.
Like a few things we like to do, if you go for a walk, don't just go for a walk. You know what I mean? Write a small list, pick a few things, maybe play a game of I Spy. That's one we like to do, or we like a scavenger hunt. We pick a few things they can find maybe along the way, and you just make it a small little adventure for them, and it's just that much more special than just a walk.
Yeah, and like he said, like making an adventure, pretend you're finding a treasure, like literally go out and hide something in a little spot and make that a treasure hunt.
Use your imagination, because it's important in a time like this.
And another thing is try to keep calm and try to manage their anger and stress with a little bit more understanding than usual. They have been through so much this year, and we really noticed it with our oldest, and she's been getting a little bit more irritable, with her sister, with us. She's been a lot more attitude lately, and our first instinct is to just kind of get upset with her and just why are you acting like this? But really we know why she's acting a little bit more irritable and stressed out. So just really try to be understanding when they do those things, because they've been through crazy times lately. So
another small thing we like to do with her is we just like to get her to write down 1 to 3 small things every day that she's thankful for.
yeah, and we'll do it as well ourselves. We don't need to do it for ourselves, but for her more so. You know, we can tell her, you know, things that we're also thankful for, just to kind of get her in that groove
Always,
there.
yeah, always try to be personal to them in the small ways that you can. It'll really help. So
yeah, and the last thing is always keep reminding them that this time will pass. It's so important, because they have been in this situation for so long now that this is the new normal for them.
it seems
and
like it.
It seems like it, and we got to remind them that it is not going to stay like this forever, and they will get back out to doing, you know, all of those fun things they're used to doing. So always remind them that. And another thing to keep us parents sane and, you know, parenting effectively is to find time for yourselves as well. So for yourselves and as a couple, that's also super important. And we are actually going to be coming out with a video regarding that, and we'll kind of elaborate on what we do as a couple. So stay tuned for that as well. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to follow our Instagram page as well. We will put the link in our bio.
At Those Cool Parents, because that's us. Bye, guys.